Peace. Welcome back to the Voice of Reason show. I'm your host, Skilo Slim, and today we have a very special person in the building. I'm so glad that she came to sit down with us. I've been wanting to make it happen for a while. So I'm going to slide it around so she can introduce herself, and we're going to jump right in. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me on again. You know I've been on before.
Yeah, I know.
All right, and thank you so much for bringing me back again today.
Definitely.
I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so if I sound kind of manly, it's because I got a cold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've been in the bed for like 2 days, but I got out of the bed just for you.
Oh,
so I
thank
come be
you.
on your show. You're welcome.
I
But my
appreciate
name
it.
is Gladys Harrison, and I'm the owner of Big Mama's Kitchen and Catering, and I'm also a candidate for Congress for Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. What was that like? What made you like, I'm jumping out here and we're gonna run for Congress? That seems like very intimidating.
It was something that, transpired over time. When I was a little girl, my grandmother, who I'm named after, her name is Gladys L. Harrison. She's passed away. And my Aunt Mary Ellen, who's still living, she's 86 years old. When I was little, they used to tell me all the time, you're going to be the next Barbara Jordan, because I was very well spoken, and I was always a defender of people, and always the person that got people together, and that always stuck in the back of my mind, And I've always been, a leader throughout my childhood and, my adult life. After high school, I started a career and became a mom, and so I kind of put my political aspirations to the back burner. It was always something I wanted to do. Just life prevented me from doing those things. 2016, as with many people, I really got concerned about the direction that this country is taking.
Right.
And I really feel like there are voices in our district and all across Nebraska and the rest of the country who we feel like we're not being heard, and nobody's representing our interests or could care less. And I'm talking about the middle class, the working class, and the poor in this country. I don't care what color you are.
Right.
In the last 40 years, wages have kind of stayed the same, but the cost of living has gone up higher.
Right.
And we're struggling. We're struggling. And who's looking out for us? And I'm not saying nobody is, but in Nebraska's 2nd District, we need somebody that's going to be looking out for everybody. And that's what I want to do. So, my kids are grown. That's not an excuse for me to run anymore. The restaurant has moved. We've transitioned from a full-service restaurant to more of a fast casual. And I've hired people and passed on responsibilities to my team members to allow me to step away somewhat from the restaurant, not fully, because I'm not a wealthy person. I still got to work to pay the bills. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
I'm not one of those fortunate candidates who can quit their job and campaign full time.
Right.
But I'm able to do this. And now is the right time. People are tired of the same old thing that's been going on in Washington. And we need to elect folks who are going to remember where they came from and remember who elected them and why. That's what I want to go and do.
Yeah, definitely. Because you said something that really stuck out to me. It's like no one seems to be concerned about the worker.
And there's more people who go to a job every single day in this country, they're millionaires and corporations. But it just seems like, like I said, the last 40 years, much of the legislation that happens in this country leans towards the big business and the wealthy. And in the meantime, the rest of us are struggling.
Yeah, yeah, and you see it. I see it every day. I see guys on the job that's 50, 60 years old. They're like, I'm gonna have to work till I die, and it's like they complain about their pay. And it's like if they make one little mistake, they like kick them out the door.
It's the truth. I started my professional career at what was back then US West, and then it changed over to Quest, and now it's called CenturyLink. We called it the phone company working there. And I worked there for 22 years, where I was a union steward and a member of the union the entire time that I worked there. I understand the importance of unions. Unions look out for their workers. Unions ensure that things are fair and equitable. If you try to get fired, union tries to get your job back. You know, the union looked out for the American worker. Even if you didn't have a job, you know, where there was a union there, you know, what the benefits union got, you know, really kind of trickled down to everybody.
Definitely.
You know, there's been a decline in unions, you know, the last 30, 40 years. And when you see that decline in representation, you also see that decline in pay. The job that I had when I left the phone company back in like 2008, 2009, I was making like $26, $27 an hour. You know, that same job, they're making half of that, you know, and doing the same work. And we have to start looking at, as a country, how are we going to employ people, you know, and how are they going to take care of themselves? And what's causing us to struggle nowadays is, yeah, there's jobs out there, you know, and this current administration will say that this is the best economy that there ever was. Well, I don't agree with that, and that there's more people working now than ever, and that may be true. Is it true because people got to work 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet? Because you can't pay rent or a mortgage payment making $15 an hour. You can't. You got to have 2, 3 jobs making $15 an hour to make ends meet. And those are some things that we have to start addressing in this district and in the country, or we're going to have a whole bunch of people living in tent cities.
Right. Yeah. It's gonna get worse and worse. You know. And I'm a proud supporter of, you know, unions too, like Local 3. You know.
I know that's right. Yep. Communication Workers Local 7400. That's a union I belong to for 22 years. Yep.
It seems like unions are like really under attack, and when that happens, you see because most corporations are not going to just do what's right.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. And you know, unions ensure, like I said, that you have fair wages, that you have good benefits, that everyone's treated equitably, and there's bargaining power. You know, the more people that belong to the union, you know, the more power that you have when negotiating with the company.
Right.
Yeah. And what a lot of people don't understand is the kind of money you can make in a union jobs. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking to some folks at the elevators union. Those guys start out at $22 an hour as an apprentice. That's great money. And in 4 years, when you're done, you're making almost $50 an hour. That's wonderful money.
Definitely.
And that job, they explained to me that you need a high school diploma to be able to pass the basic math and English test, and then to be able to identify basic tools. You know, but I think, you know, we talk about education and, you know, should education be free, you know, college education, that's a big thing now. What about, you know, sponsoring or paying for kids right out of high school to go into these apprenticeship jobs with these unions, you know what I'm saying, to be able to make some money. And that's a lifelong job. A union job, we're always building something. I don't care if robots do take over the world. You know, buildings still need to be built, and electricity still needs to be ran, and plumbing still needs to be done, and you're going to need people to do that. Yeah, I think there's very creative ways for us to solve the jobs problem in this country, for us to solve the climate problems in this country, and you know, healthcare, and they're all interrelated. But it's going to take people from all segments of society in Washington to help create those solutions. You know, Washington's full of career politicians, and most people that run for Congress, you know, A, are wealthy, B, they either lawyers or been in the military, you know, or some millionaire, billionaire businessman. But the everyday folk like you and I, there's not very many of us in Washington. I'm not saying there's none, but there's not very many. And if we're really going to solve the problems that we have in this country and move this country forward, we need input from everybody, and particularly the working class, middle class, and everyday folks like you and I.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So that's what you bring, that's what you plan to bring to the position?
Yep, and my everyday experiences, you know, I know what it is to sit down at the table every night and decide what bills I'm going to pay. Hell, I'm still doing that. You know,
Me too.
I'm a person in Nebraska's 2nd District who doesn't have health insurance. When I worked, you know, in the communications industry, of course, I had insurance, and after I left, you know, I made COBRA payments, and those got outrageous. But even with the Affordable Care Act, it's too expensive for me. And, you know, one of the things that that I'm running on is we need an option for folks who do not have insurance in this country, or people that have it and it's too expensive for them. Some people have it, but it's just horribly expensive. You know, the deductibles and the co-pays, they don't even go to the doctor because it's way too expensive. Now, I'm not saying take folks' insurance away, because as a union member, I understand, you know, there are some people who worked for the insurance plans that they have and they want to keep them, or they enjoy their policy, and that's fine. Let those folks keep their insurance. But for those of us who don't have it, we need an affordable quality option that doesn't make you go broke, you know, going to the doctor, for those of us who don't have it. And I know that there's a ways to do that, you know, but I think a lot of it is, I know it is due to money, you know, and how much in money insurance companies will lose, and pharmaceutical companies and for-profit hospitals, by doing the right thing.
Yeah. That's always the hard part, because then you see that, like when you start paying attention, you notice like, okay, a lot of people are just trying to make money, you know, and that's the thing that disturbs me, because it's like, I mean, what about the common good? Like, is that like a concept that's gone? Like, do I need to move on?
When you bring that subject up, it makes me think about, you know, the for-profit prisons.
Right.
You know, I mean, just think about those two words, or three words, a for-profit prison. Right. You know, that means that company is in business to make a profit off of people who are incarcerated. Right. Right? And so they're going to do whatever they're going to do to make money, because they're a for-profit business. And, you know, total transformation of our criminal justice system is something that I'm also very passionate about. You know, having had family members who are incarcerated, you know, who've gotten unfair sentences. The whole prison system just preys upon the prisoner, you know, from putting money on people's books to buying from the commissary to making phone calls. You know, it's all a racket. It's a racket. It's because those businesses that run those organizations are for profit. You know, and most people that go to jail are, you know, people who are poor anyway. You know, and then you really put them in a spot by how expensive it is, you know, like I said, to send money and to buy from commissary and to make phone calls. And then, of course, those programs that used to be in prisons to rehabilitate people, you know, are gone in a lot of prisons, you know. Right. So you just got people just sitting there, you know, 24 hours a day, and not having any incentive or any help to make some changes in their life. And coupled with that, and insurance is, we've got a lot of people in prison who are there not because they're criminals, but because they got mental health problems. And because we don't have mental health institutions, particularly in Omaha anymore, you know, people get thrown in jail for sleeping out on the street, or, you know, I should be taking medicine because...
But I can't afford it. Yeah, that affects me personally. I got family members that's in jail right now. And that's like my main thing that I bring up to the judge and to the prosecutors, is like, well, when they're in this place, they have access to their, for their mental health, like their medicine and all of that. And then you put them here, they don't have it. And now you want to treat him like he's the worst person in the world, when it's like, it's clearly an issue. But.
And we need people in office who understand those things, you know, that everything is not black and white. You know, and who understand that the decisions that we make as a country have real effect on people, and sometimes they're generational effects on people. And we need people that are going to look out for us and remember who elected them and why they elected them. And again, you know, that's why I'm running, because I want to do that. I'm still connected. I was born and raised here in Omaha. I have deep roots here. You know, I have a small business here. And I want to do everything that I can do to ensure that, you know, my grandson and my other grandchildren have a legacy to hold on to, and that they get a great education, that they can live in safe neighborhoods, you know, that they can vote and live wherever they want to, you know what I mean?
Right, definitely.
So whatever I can do, not just my kids, but everybody else's.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. So what's something that you would want people to, like, who don't know you, to know about your campaign and what you want to do?
I'm not a politician, for one.
Right.
I'm not running a traditional campaign. And here I'm going to show you. This is my logo.
I like that.
And you see it's leopard and pink.
Yeah.
Right. Not
like
that doesn't say that I'm running for office. A lot of people tell me that, even though it says it on there that I'm running for Congress. But I'm not a traditional candidate. I'm not going to go and forget where I came from. I'm not running a traditional campaign. You know, I don't have a bunch of money to run, and it takes a lot of money to run a congressional campaign. I don't know a lot of wealthy people. You know, all the fundraising that I've done has been through my own friends and family and people that I know. And, you know, now I'm starting to call, you know, people who are Democrats and give, you know, people who don't know me from Adam. And that's been interesting. That's called call time.
Yeah.
Try to get people that you don't know to believe in, you know, what you want to do. And I want people to know that if I get elected, I'm not going to forget about them. I'm not, because I'm connected to this community. I'm connected to the people that are in this community, and I have the same struggles that you do. And, you know, when I get elected to represent Nebraska's 2nd District as a congresswoman, I'm bringing everybody to the table with us. We all going to have a voice and a seat as to what happens in our district.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. Well, I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
You know, I always feel warm energy when I'm around you.
Thank you.
So, you know, that goes a lot.
That.
You know, I feel like you have good intentions, you know, and I hope we can do our part to get the word out and get people interested.
So can I say, if you want to find out more about my campaign, my website is GladysForCongress.com. You can sign up to volunteer. Of course, you can make a donation, find out more about me and why I'm running. This is definitely something I cannot do by myself. It's going to take, you know, everybody who would like to see a candidate like me represent us to help me make this happen.
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely. Like I said, I wish you nothing but the best, and I appreciate you coming out and
Thank
sharing
you.
with us today.
Appreciate you for letting me stop in today.
Oh yeah, you welcome anytime.
I know that's right. Can I talk about the restaurant real quick?
Oh
We
yeah,
got like 2-3 minutes.
Let's
okay.
not forget the restaurant.
So you know the restaurant moves.
Right.
Big
How's
Mama's
that been?
Kitchen and Catering. Man, it's been everything my mother wanted it to be. You know, Big Mama got to be a part of the planning of that space and what it looked like and what it felt like. She knew that the restaurant needed to do a transition, you know, from, my mother always felt like she was cooking in her house. I mean, even when, you know, the 12 years that we were at the old place, her mentality was she was always, you know, cooking in her home.
Right.
And we still want people to feel that way, but we know that she knew that we needed to take that feeling and, you know, bring it into the 2020s, you know. Right. So we're fast casual now. The space is beautiful. We're not the only restaurant there. There's 2 other restaurants. One is called Pico, and they have tacos and nachos. And then the Highlander Bar and Grill, you know, has traditional bar food, pizza and wings and burgers. And yes, there's a bar there. You can come get a cocktail and have a drink. Yeah, we have happy hour daily from 3 to 6. At Big Mama's, you can get $5 appetizers. At the bar, you can get $4 margaritas. And on Thursdays, we have live folk jazz from 5:30 to 8:30, and it's free. Yeah, the restaurant's located at the Highlander Accelerator, you know, part of the 75 North project. We're on 30th and Patrick Street, and we're open every day from 11 a.m. to 8, 9, or 10 o'clock. Yeah, serving lunch and dinner. And like I said, we have happy hour, and the space is beautiful. There's nothing like it in North Omaha. There's beautiful views of downtown in North O. If you haven't been there, you got to come and check it out.
Yeah, definitely go and check it out. It's worth the visit. I like that. I like all of that stuff being right there. I was excited because I didn't know that y'all were moving there. I know they kept telling me like, yeah, it's gonna be restaurants and stuff in here. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll see. And then I heard that y'all were moving in. I was like, okay, that's nice. You know? That's not far from where I live. So.
Yeah, the space is called the dining hall. Yeah, we gather and grub there.
I like it. I like it. So yeah, definitely go and check that out. Don't be late. You know, don't be tardy to the party. Make it happen. You know. So I don't. Is there anything else that you want people to know? before we get out of here?
Go to GladysForCongress.com,
There we go.
and on May 12th, vote for Gladys Harrison, because there's an election May 12th. There's a primary election. You know, there's
Right,
two
the
other people
primary.
running, and then there's a general election in November. So yeah, I'm gonna need you to vote for me May 12th. And when I come knocking on your door as the weather gets warmer, make sure you open the door
No
and
doubt.
let
no
me in,
doubt.
holler at you, let you know why I'm running, and meet you.
Definitely. So again, like I said, we wish you nothing but the best, and we're proud of you and all that you continue to do. You know, you're an inspiration to us all in the community.
Oh, thank you.
So you know, I'm glad that you could come. I know. Hopefully, you feel better. I didn't know that you wasn't feeling well.
Yes,
You know,
I've been taking all kind of medicine and everything. Hopefully I'll feel better too, yep. But I had to come back again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, after I win in May, I'll come back again.
Yeah, yeah. The door's always open. You know, you got my number. Just let me know. All right. With that, I'm gonna say, make sure that you get involved. You know, because I get tired of people complaining. You know, I'm gonna say the same thing every time it's time to vote. Like, get active, get involved. You know what I'm saying? And support people. It's a bunch of people who probably share the same identities and ideas that you share. So they're gonna need your support. You know what I mean? So I don't want to hear excuses about how corrupt the voting system is when you're not even registered and you're not even involved. Because you know, if it's something that's corrupt, we can get in there and change it. Remember the Tea Party. Remember the lessons from the Tea Party. They took over the Republican Party, and now they got somebody who share their views in the White House. While we sitting around complaining and talk about what we can't do, they just got active and did it. So, you know, it's up to you. But I want to thank you again for coming, and I thank all of y'all for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.